So I just said that I'm from South Africa. Have you ever been?
Not yet, but I would like to go. Yeah, I want to go. Yeah.
I want to congratulate you on giving me a sleepless night after watching
It was a pleasure.
the movie. It was truly terrifying. I want to ask you, was there a specific moment or a scene while filming that actually scared you?
Well, you know, scaring yourself is a difficult task in general. Not that I didn't try, because that's what making a horror movie is, basically. It's trying to scare yourself more than anyone. So you have to, you know, recur to things that scare you mostly. That doesn't mean that you will scare yourself. There were more than scenes that scared myself, because, you know, of course, like, you have an instinct and you have like this first impression of what the scene should be, and you're scared at that point. And then you elaborate the scene, you orchestrate the scene bit by bit, so it's a pretty artificial and fragmented process. So by the end of it, there's nothing that scares you, but it will scare others.
Yes, it did.
Glad to hear.
So Stephen King manages to bring a lot of humor into his stories.
Yeah.
Did you find it difficult to do that with it? You know, people actually expect it to be a full-on horror film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so was it difficult to bring humor into it?
Not at all, not at all. I grew up with, like, reading Stephen King, and he's a huge influence in my, you know, in my way of telling stories, and I understand the value of humor as a mean of reaching the character, of establishing an emotional connection with the character. So I think it's all about that, about, you know, engaging the audience and with the characters and their journey, and making them care for the characters. Because if you don't care for the characters, you don't care for the movie.
Yes.
So even if it's a horror movie, like, you want to feel that a character that you love is being threatened or in peril, right? So
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I laughed, I cried, and I was very scared. So
Well,
all of that.
It made its work. Then it did its job. Yeah.
You said you were a fan of Stephen King before making this film.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw that he actually, you know, gave you his blessing on Twitter. You know, how did that make you feel to actually get his approval?
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was like I was over the clouds when I read that. We did hold a personal exchange of emails, because it all started with me writing a letter, a handwritten letter that went with the film that he saw. And basically I asked for his indulgence and forgiveness for having changed so much of his story, even though I tried to, you know, to keep the spirit and the heart of his book into the movie. But yeah, his reaction was thanking me for doing a great job. So
Okay. Then there are predictions out there that this will be the biggest horror debut at the box office in history. So if this happens, how will you be celebrating?
You know what? I never thought of it so far, because I've been tangled until, you know, a few weeks ago in the post-production of the movie, and then jumped straight into the press. So I didn't have time to think of it, but something will come up.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Oh, yes, I will. I will basically consume 10 balloons full of helium and make a speech with a high-pitched voice. How about that?